The fog thickened until the world seemed to vanish entirely. Batman's footsteps echoed against streets that no longer obeyed logic, twisting and folding beneath his boots. And then he saw it, a building from his past, yet distorted, drenched in shadow, and alive in a way Arkham never was. Silent Hill had changed again. The streets he had traversed moments before now appeared alien. Sidewalks warped, walls sagging inward, street lamps bending at impossible angles. The fog carried a cold that seemed to bite into his bones, heavier than any winter night in Gotham. Even the familiar weight of his cape felt alien here, as if Silent Hill itself resisted him. In the distance, a structure emerged through the haze. Its facade resembled Arkham Asylum, yet corrupted. Tall spires twisted like gnarled fingers, windows cracked into jagged, screaming shapes, and doors warped as though breathing. The asylum he had known as a symbol of containment now radiated freedom for horror. Batman hesitated, hand on the grapnel, every sense alert. This was familiar and alien all at once. Memories of Gotham, of the countless nights spent walking its hallways, confronted him. Faces of criminals he had locked away, screaming behind bars, flickered across his mind. And now, here in Silent Hill, those echoes manifested into reality. He stepped forward. The asylum doors creaked open on their own, revealing a long hallway littered with overturned furniture and faded bloodstains. The air smelled of mold and iron. Every footstep seemed magnified, a drumbeat of tension. From the shadows, a figure emerged, the twisted reflection of a familiar face. Not Joker exactly, but something built from the nightmare of him. The creature's grin stretched unnaturally wide, skin pallid, eyes hollow but glinting with cruel intelligence. "Welcome back, detective," it hissed, voice a warped mimicry of laughter. Batman tensed, fists ready. The creature lunged, only to dissolve into the fog at the last second, leaving behind a wet, echoing laugh that bounced off the walls. The asylum seemed to respond to every movement he made. Hallways stretched impossibly long. Doors led to rooms that had no place. Windows looked out onto streets that should not exist. Ghostly figures flickered in peripheral vision. Prisoners of Gotham, twisted and malformed, reaching for him silently. He recognized them immediately. The faces of Arkham's worst, Scarecrow, Two-Face, and countless others, but warped by the town's malevolence. Their bodies were broken, limbs bent at cruel angles, eyes empty yet accusing. "You failed them," they whispered, voices blending into a cacophony. "You could not save them." Each word struck Batman like a physical blow. He clenched his jaw, forcing himself to continue. Silent Hill was more than a place. It was a mirror, reflecting not just fear, but guilt, magnifying the sins he carried from Gotham. He entered what appeared to be the main atrium. Chains dangled from the ceiling, hooked into the walls, as if the building itself were alive, ready to ensnare him. Rusted medical equipment littered the floor. Syringes, straitjackets, shattered masks. Shadows twisted unnaturally in the corners. A second figure appeared, this one resembling a younger version of himself. Bruce Wayne, unarmored, vulnerable. Its eyes were hollow, black wells of despair. "You never saved them," the reflection whispered. "You can't save anyone here." Batman's hands shook slightly, his mind pushing against the psychic pressure of the town. He had faced his fears before, but Silent Hill's reflection was relentless, almost sentient. It knew every failure, every lapse, every innocent life lost under his watch. Suddenly, the asylum doors slammed shut behind him, the sound reverberating like a thunderclap. The chains above rattled violently. The fog seeped into the building, coating walls, floor, and ceiling like a living entity. The figure lunged, but again it dissolved before he could strike, leaving only echoes. Then another appeared, Scarecrow, tall, lanky, grin impossibly wide, wielding twisted fear as a weapon. Its voice slithered into his mind, preying on every insecurity. Batman fought forward, grappling through the hallway, avoiding grasping hands of unseen figures. He noticed the walls shifting, murals of Gotham burning, faces of innocents screaming, symbols of his failures etched into the plaster. Silent Hill was turning his memories into physical traps. He reached the central atrium, where the ceiling had collapsed into a gaping void. Chains hung down like vines, twisting and writhing. From the pit, dozens of twisted forms rose, all familiar yet malformed, reaching for him, screaming accusations and threats. The Dark Knight leapt into action, using every gadget at his disposal. Smoke pellets, grapnel swings, batarangs. But even his best moves were partially ineffective. The creatures seemed to anticipate him, phasing through shadows, disappearing into the fog, only to return moments later. He realized the truth. Silent Hill did not fight him with physical power alone. It fought him with mind, feeding on fear and guilt, shaping the environment to strip him down to his essence. His training was not enough. He had to conquer the psychological labyrinth before he could survive the physical threats. The echoes of Arkham pressed on, whispering in unison, "You are not a hero here." Batman clenched his fists, voice low and commanding, "I am the Bat. I do not fail." The echoes faltered slightly, a small fissure in the psychic onslaught. He used the moment to sprint toward the stairwell leading up the spire. Each step was deliberate, each breath measured. Silent Hill shifted beneath him, trying to throw him off balance, yet he pressed forward. At the top of the stairwell, he glimpsed a corridor bathed in unnatural red light, the silhouettes of more horrors waiting. He knew he had not yet survived this trial, but he had moved one step closer to confronting the town's heart, and perhaps the twisted reflection of his own soul. The fog outside pressed against the windows. Shadows moved in impossible angles, and somewhere within the distorted spires of Arkham, Silent Hill waited for Batman to falter again.